Okay, so this is going to be the last little thing we're going to do before we do our test on Friday. So today we'll do this short little thing. Then on tomorrow we'll do our review for our test. Then Friday we're taking our test. So I'm not going to go through all these on the front here. I just want to kind of give you the idea. I'm not going to go all into this. But so on this first one, this is the Converse. Okay. So let me just write it out, Converse. So if you remember back, what do we do on a Converse? Does anybody remember? Remember we had converse, inverse, and contrapositive. What did the Converse do?
You flip them, right?
Yeah, it just flips them, right? So what we've been saying is if the lines are parallel, then like alternate exterior angles are congruent. What we're doing now is we're talking about the converse of that. All right, if alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So we're basically taking what we said and doing it exactly backwards.
Why like that? Like all those ones?
Yes, but I'm not going to go through all these. So on this one, it's the converse of the corresponding angles. Okay, let me just drop down here to this one. So let's just go to this one right here. The second to the last one there. So the converse of what I just talked about, sorry. Okay, the converse of the alternate exterior angles theorem. Okay, so it's going to say this. If alternate exterior angles are congruent, I'm just writing this down for right here. If alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So we're just working backwards. We're flipping the hypothesis and conclusion. If alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Okay. So if alternate exterior angles are congruent, the lines are parallel. We have been saying if the lines are parallel, then alternate exterior angles are congruent. So you can see all we did is we flip those two. All right? So we don't have to go through all this. It's just that mindset on all of these. Okay? So let's flip over to the back and let's look at some of these. Okay, so if angle 2 is congruent to angle 7, so that's right here and right here. Now, there's going to be three things. Number one, I want to know, if 2 is congruent to 7, which two lines am I going to say are parallel to each other? Good. R is parallel to Q. Okay, and something I want to put in here that doesn't necessarily say this, but I want to put it in. So with 2 and 7, which is the transversal? Is line S. There was a question on your quiz just a second ago that asked about the transversal. And the answer to that was line A. So, it was line A on that one. Okay? Now, okay, so we said if 2 and 7 are congruent, then R and Q are parallel, and that's true. Now, what type of angle pair are 2 and 7?
Those are alternate.
They're alternate exterior. So what I'm going to say is by the converse of the alternate exterior angles theorem is how we know that. Okay? That's what the converse of the alternate exterior angles theorem says. If this is true right here, then these lines are parallel. Okay, next, 2 and 9. Okay, so we got 2 here, we got 9 here. Okay, so if 2 and 9 are congruent to each other, what two lines are going to be parallel?
S and P.
S is going to be parallel to P. What line is the transversal there?
R.
Is line R. Okay, now I got to go back and think about what lets me say that? What lets me prove that? If 2 is congruent to that. Converse of the what?
The converse of the alternate
Of the corresponding angles postulate. Okay, next one. If 8 is supplementary to 13. Okay, what two lines are going to be parallel? S is parallel to P. What line is a transversal? Line Q. And so which one lets me say that? If 8 is supplementary to 13. What type of pair are 8 and 13? Same side interior. Good. So by the converse of the same side interior angles theorem, I can say that if this is true, that this is true. Okay, and then the last one here is if angle 4 is congruent to angle 5. So here's 4, here's 5. So what two lines are going to be parallel?
R and Q.
R is parallel to Q. What's the transversal?
S.
Line S. So what lets me say that if 4 is congruent to 5, that R is parallel to Q?
Converse alternate interior.
Converse of the alternate interior angles theorem. Yep. Okay, so pretty basic, pretty easy for what we're doing today. That's basically what you're going to do on your assignment is the same thing. Tell me what lines are parallel, what the transversal is, and which one of those converse or which one of those lets you say that that's true.